Hi, good morning, friends, and welcome to a discussion with Spiros about self-motivation. Hi, Spiro.
Good morning, Panagiotis, and good morning, everyone. That's a very important and crucial topic, right?
Self-motivation, it might trigger us as well. So what does it mean for you to be self-motivated?
Um, it means a lot of stuff, but I think the most important thing is to have the discipline to actually do what you need to do. And what I have in mind right now is that a lot of times I'm saying, okay, I want to exercise and I need to do this and this and that, or eat healthily. But because there's no one to judge me or criticize me, then I can say, "Oh, okay, maybe tomorrow, maybe I'll start, running tomorrow." And I have big issues with this, and I've realized that when I don't have an external deadline, an external someone else to hold me accountable, then it's very easy for me to just find other paths to just bypass what I have said to do. What about you? What does it mean to you?
I think it's also a part of me, like really related with what you said. Like when I'm with myself, it's more like party time. There is time to do whatever I want to do. But when I am holding myself accountable to someone else, I might be more prominent or like more willing to take the action. And this is something that's a pattern that many different types of people have worked, and myself included. Sometimes I need also external accountability to work on something. But also would like to mention that there are types of people that work best under external accountability to keep themselves motivated, like me and you, for example. There are people that they say, I will do something, and they do it, and they set the New Year's resolution, and then by the end of the year, they made this happen. But of course, I'm not one of those people, right? But there are other people that they rely on external accountability, and I don't think it's something per se negative, because remember, we're humans, and we want to be to have a sense of belonging, to belong in communities, to be heard and communicate. It's a very important aspect of our humanity. So the fact that we want to connect to other people and maybe get encouragement, maybe get like a tap on the shoulder when things do not go as expected. I think it's a universal human need that it's not something that we can, neglect. I would recommend it's important to accept it, that if that's the way I work and the way I move forward and progress in my goals, just accept it, embrace it, and find your support system.
Yeah, I really like what you just said, because that actually gives me some some motivation. Yeah, I think it's in human nature. Some people, it's personality or something. Some people work best with are more able to actually do what they say. But I also think there are some techniques, some practical things we can do to actually motivate ourselves a little bit more and actually start and then accomplish what we have. And we shouldn't neglect that either. The power of these tools and frameworks, like knowing why we want to do this, and having a clear idea of it. So, for example, for me personally, a lot of times I'm just saying, I just want to eat more healthily. I want to exercise more, but that's so broad. What does this mean exactly? So I don't know where to start from. And when I'm thinking like that, that I want to do. Yeah, I want to ask you what what do you do to motivate yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I just realized in the past few months how stress affects my motivation.
Mm,
So, although sometimes I have the best of intention, if something external, stress trigger, or internal, something how I think about the world and my feelings, will can affect negatively my self motivation, like the stress and the circumstance and what's going on. So what really helps me is what you just said earlier, to be with other people. So I realized that when I was in a group, like in a group of leaders, and we were actually sharing what gives us joy, we were sharing what makes us spring out of bed every morning, and how we are when we feel full alive. And we did an activity like this. And after this activity, where I was sharing with someone I knew, and then collectively the group was sharing what makes us alive, this really helped me. Like I started to see my life and my goals under a different lens, because I
mm,
focused on what gives me joy and what makes me happy and what do I want in my life. I was not focusing on the problem, the fact, I'm not consistent, I'm not motivated. I was exploring my life from the lens, how was I when I was full motivated? How was I thinking when I was excited about what I was doing? How was I feeling, thinking, what I was doing? How was I behaving to other people when I'm in my at my when I am at my best? And I
mm.
think this kind of shifting the perspective of how I see things about myself, it helped me to move forward and focus on, okay, um, okay, so what can I do? So now I could feel that I am more alive when I'm doing those things. So I said, okay, so what can I do today that will make me feel more alive and more connected to what I want to create in my life?
Wow, yeah, I think that's an amazing thing that you just said. That's a very good reminder for myself to be with people who can remind me this kind of stuff. And yeah, before I was focusing more on the more practical stuff, but I think you brought a bigger sphere of the problem. You
Hmm.
start mentioning about the stress and how this affects us internally, and then we are not able to actually do what we need to do. And to tackle that, we need to be with people, other people, to talk about this, to remind us what brings us joy, to in order for us to be more present with life, okay, and not actually see these things as problems or obstacles, the things that we want or we need to accomplish, but things that will connect us more with life, I guess. And yeah, I think that's a great reminder, and I think I need to write it on a post-it note and put it somewhere
Hmm.
here.
What would you write? Let's write it together. I got my post already. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
I think. Well, I'm keeping some notes here on
Hmm.
my notebook. So I've written be with other people to remind. I'm gonna what I'm gonna write is be with other people to remind me my purpose in life, which is to be more connected with life, to be more connected with other people, and to accomplish some stuff that some things that I want to accomplish. So being more healthy and exercising a little bit more and eating more healthily, it's not my top priority goal, but it's something that I want to do. I feel I need to do also, and it's something that has helped me in the past to to feel better, physically, but also spiritually, if I can say that, because I think there is a connection there.
Absolutely. Everything starts from the body and affects the body, affects the mind, which is very important to remind how we can shift the physiology by being with other people, by speaking about what makes us happy. That's a very important pillar on what we're discussing. And another one would be, how do I make it super easy for my brain? Because our brain are designed to help us stay safe and protected. So if I say I want to exercise more, the brain does not compute what does it mean to exercise more and say, okay, forget about it. Let's not do it at all, because it doesn't. We cannot understand, pass a message that it's something easy and we're safe and everything will be all right. So another important pillar is to help us build this tiny momentum day to day. For example, asking, so what would be like the mini version of my behavior if I want to be more healthy towards my exercise, for example, routine? And this would be, as a colleague says, to do what he says, I'm doing 10 sit-ups every time I stand up from my desk, for example, or any break. So I connect it with me moving up, like getting up from our chair. So I'm doing 10 sit-ups.
Yeah, and you create kind of a habit, this kind of routine and connected.
It's part of my action of getting up, for example.
Yeah. That's something a lot of people are saying. I've tried it and I think it works. I'm doing it with push-ups. So every time I'm flushing the toilet, that's the example I have heard before. And I said, okay, I'm going to try out. Then I'm doing 10 push-ups. And that actually works. Well, to be honest, not every time, but most of the times it works. And that has actually created this kind of routine and habit in my head. And now it becomes kind of automatic. I like this.
Sorry to interrupt. And for this to happen, what is, I believe, super important is to have identified a vision for our health or for our lives. So if I have a vision of how I want to feel, how I want to be physically, mentally, energetically, in my work and my relationships, then I can connect it to my behaviors and to my habits. And this can help me make better decisions that are more aligned with what I want to do. So it's like multiple pillars that starts from ourselves. Because if I don't think about this way about myself, I wouldn't bother doing the 10 push-ups or the 10 sit-ups every time I stand up.
Yeah, definitely. We need
something bigger, with our vision.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned before. We need to remind ourselves why we want to do this. Because if it's just a problem, why do we want to do it? But when we say, okay, this helps me in this or that way, it energizes me, it makes me more motivated when I'm doing this, then why not? This vision of us really helps us. But I think it's important because we talked a lot about, okay, I want to be more healthy. We need to specify exactly what this means to us to make it easier for our brain. So when we set specific target, let's say I want to lose 5 kilos by the end of the year, 31st of December, then we have a clear idea of how many kilos we need to lose every month and what we need to do. And we can actually reflect and review our progress every month to see if we need to adjust something. Does this actually work or not? So I think reviewing and reflecting is very, very important in personal development, but also in whether something works or not. Sorry, I had something else in my head, but I think it just slipped away.
That's okay. We can connect that to what do, how make it specific and small and achievable, and break it down to smaller steps, right? That's what
Smaller
we're
steps.
starting
That's
now.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Down to smaller steps, which is a very important thing, but everything starts of who I want to be. I want to be the person that is consistent with movement, for example. It's about deciding from who I want to be, how do I want to show up with regards to my health. This will support me, what I do, like what are the behaviors, how I will break down my mini goals, and then it will follow with a specific result, along with the support system that we were discussing in the beginning of our chat today.
Yeah, definitely. I think everything starts with. It's very important to start with connecting with other people that will actually motivate us, and then remind ourselves the vision we have for ourselves, and then starting creating a plan, reviewing the plan as we move forward. A specific plan, smart plan. But it's very, very important to start small, because else we just overwhelm ourselves. And I just want to bring here a personal example. So I was watching a video on YouTube, and that person said something that I tried out and it actually works. So there was a period in my life that I started going out running. And then this person said, okay, the only thing you need to do is just wear your shoes and go out of your door and just close the door. Because that's the first step. That's the most difficult step. When you are out there and you wear your shoes, you are going to go running. It's almost impossible to just say, okay, well, I'm not going to do it today. Because you have taken the first step, the first small step, which is just a simple thing. Just wear your shoes and go out of your house. It doesn't matter if you run for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour. Just
or
start,
1 minute or 1
or
minute.
even 1 minute. Yeah, because it's the beginning that matters, and after that, it will, the run will become longer and longer and longer. But I think starting small, it's quite important.
Starting and repeating and saying it's okay even if we don't drop the expectations, because if we say we'll run 5K and then we're not in the mood, we can say to ourselves, okay, I can run for 5-10 minutes, or I can slow jog, and which is much better than nothing, than staying inside the home and not moving at all. To be compassionate towards ourselves even when the things do not go as expected.
Yeah, definitely. Panagiotis, I really like that you brought that that vision, that connection with people. That's a very good reminder, as I said. And then we started making it even more concrete with specific plan, reviewing, and taking the first step. I really liked how we ended up there.
Great, and the coach, it's a great support system for everyone, even for a coach.
Oh yeah,
we support each other.
Oh yeah, a coach needs a coach. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Spiro, for your time this beautiful morning.
Thank you, Panagiotis, too. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.